I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite free patterns, but with a little bit of a twist. Some of these patterns I have added my own modifications to. For me, I tend to take a pattern and I look at it and then I add my own little twist to things. So this first free pattern that I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorites. I actually have it on repeat right now. This pattern is by Handmade with Love. Now her version is made with rustic yarn, or yarn that would make it look more rustic. I wanted to do a little bit of a different twist, so I made mine with from here. Maybe you can. Oh, there we go, a little bit. The white is very subtle. There we go. Pink. There's the pink. The white, it's tone on tone. Particular yarn, I purchased it at Hobby Lobby, and it has yarn at Hobby Lobby. I got my yarn at also Win, and then also I bought Yarn Inspiration Simply Soft Party Yarn. So that one is a beautiful yarn too. So Big Twist Glimmer, I think it's called. And then I love this yarn, and it has like the glitter in it. You just go in the section, they have all different ones in there that you would want to look at. They have a cream with gold, all those. So you'll need a dowel. This one's pretty small. So for figuring out how to drill the hole, I just took the drill bit and I made sure that it measured up with the dowel. That's how I figured out what size I was going to need. Also, I was able to get these little pieces of wood that were already cut, and I'm sure if you had somebody that was handy, or if you are handy with a saw, you can find a branch and cut it. But these are pretty flat. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They are currently in the holiday section. Made these before, and I just went to the lots with the Christmas trees where they've cut off the end of the Christmas tree, when you go pick up a fresh one. And they just lay there on the ground, and you can go ask them if you can have them, and they'll give them to you for free. So you've got those options for the base of the tree. So see, this one already has the hole drilled into it. My husband did that for me. Wait a second. Instead of using this whole long dowel, I could cut it in half. So I have some trees that are tall, like this one. And then I have some trees that are Another tip for this pattern is that I don't use hot glue. Hot glue and me are not a real good thing. I've burned myself way too many times. And so I prefer to use Fab-A-Tac. Another tip for this one is that I didn't glue my dowels in. And they're not coming out. They're pretty. So the first section I put glue right here and all the way to the top, put that down. And then on the second one, I put glue on the inside of it, stuck it on top of that. And then for the third one, the toppers of the tree is different. This is a Christmas ornament. This particular one I got at Hobby Lobby. I also got some at Walmart. You can get various sizes for these. And so what I did is I flipped down the top of my tree, and I took the section that started my magic ring, and I went through this little hole right here a couple times. And then I put glue around the edge here, and then I just held the yarn up to it until it was pretty firm. And then again, I put glue on the inside of my yarn and held it there until it was firm. And so it's not going anywhere. Other tip that I wanted to share is with your ribbon. I glue, because I do glue this on as well because I don't want it to go anywhere. I'll place just a little bit of glue right in the center section of the yarn, and then I wrap it around my dowel and I carefully hold it in place, like do a knot, and then I will tie a bow, and that is not coming off. So those are my tips for the kind of assembly. Now is instead of finishing off, I did a slip stitch, because it kind of, in the pattern, it does something different. I did a slip stitch, but in the front loops, and then I did a bobble stitch, and then I did slip stitch. So you do slip stitch, bobble stitch until you go all the way around, and that gives you that fun little trim around the edge of your tree. Now you may be wondering, well, here's a bell on the top of this one. I just did the same thing as I did with the Christmas ornament. I slipped it through, tied it down, and then I glued it in place. So this is a super quick make. Makes a great market make. It makes great gifts for your neighbors and friends and family. It could go on a package, like if you're wrapping a package, it could be the little, you know, label on there, or you can use it as a decoration. The first one is very cute. It's this granny square Christmas tree. Now you could make this super cute and add little baubles. You could do it in whatever color that you want. This pattern is by Repeat Crafter Me. Very cute, super simple. Just one granny square, and then you add a little bit of yarn down here. This was like literally under 20 minutes to make. And this would be a super fun, also if you're into markets, this would be great for markets. You could add fun little beads like the decor. This pattern is a free pattern by me and YouTube tutorial. So you can see these little beads that I have in there. You can add it to the front of this one and make it even more fun. Is a stash busting. Both of these are actually stash busting. You could make this like white and then do silver and blue beads in between. That would be really pretty. I love stash busting fun quick makes. Again, this one less than a half an hour to make. I had to make some modifications because I used blanket yarn instead of chenille yarn. So with that adaptation, I used a size 7 crochet hook, size 14 millimeter eyes. This is how this cute penguin, look how big and cute this is. And look at the little bag, the little fish bag. So clever, so adorable. I really, really love how this turned out. And I decided to make it a girl penguin with the pink because why not? This pattern took me a while because it is so large, but really it's super simple. I also made this pattern a no-sew in the fact that I sewed the arms before, the nose before, the beak before, and the feet before I actually crocheted, and then figured out from the picture which row to add these different elements to, so that all I had to do was stitch through. So this one is a beginner pattern. So cute. There you go. You may not think that pickles could be a Christmas themed item, but they are. Apparently there is a legend about a pickle in the Christmas tree. You hide it in the tree and whoever finds it gets cash. At least that's what it was explained to me as by a friend. So I decided to try an experiment at my last market, and I took my really good selling pickles that weren't displayed on my table and I set them up and I made them Christmas ornaments. And they sold. If you think about it, you could take simple things like small, like this, or even backpack buddies, like I have whales and I have other little things like that, and you can change them from the little clip for a backpack buddy and you can make them a Christmas ornament, and people really like pattern that. And is a YouTube tutorial, and there is a paid version for a print up one if you so choose to. It made all these cute little stockings, and each of these stockings took a really long time because the thread is really small, and I thought this year I would add them as add them to packages, and I thought, why not add a little thread and make them ornaments too, because that's not really long enough right there with the little hook on there to hang on the tree branch. So I thought, well, maybe I'll add that and try and sell them at my next market, because in the beginning they were going to be an advent calendar and they were just taking a really long time, and I lost interest all. Next pattern I want to talk about is another pattern that I created, and the tutorial just came out a couple weeks ago, and that is for these really pretty ornaments. Now, the tip that I wanted to give on this is if you wanted it to stand out and be a little bit different, you could change the colors on it like this, or you could use glitter and change colors and do that. These are all priced from my market, so that's why there's tags on them. And so again, with the glitter, I thought it would be really, really pretty, because if the lights on the Christmas tree hit it, it's gonna like really shimmer and be really pretty. So there is a lot you can do with these. And this is another really quick pattern that works up quick and would be really a fun gift that you could give if you made like a set of 12 or made like different colors to go together, like red, green, or that would be really pretty, or what other combination that you would decide. So I have a pink one. You could do pink, and you could do silver, and you could do like a white. That would be a pretty combination. So I think my tip on that one is if you want it to really pop, you could change the colors, or you could use glitter yarn. And I love that I can use glitter yarn because I don't ever get to use it. The tip I wanted to share with these baubles is I used a 4mm hook to work with this very fine acrylic sport weight yarn. I'm really happy with how these turned out. They were really cute. This next pattern, I'd like to talk about this cute tiny wreath. The tip that I want to give for this cute little wreath is that, yes, it works up really quickly, but instead of just tying it on, I added a little bit of Fabri-Tac glue. Not too much because you don't want it all hard, but I put a little bit of glue on there so it doesn't pull out and then it holds its shape. So that is my tip on that. Final pattern that I'd like to talk about, my final free pattern, is this really cute candy cane. Comes with this little printout, and this is by Crochet to Play. She didn't add a string. I decided to add a string, and then you tie it on. I didn't have a hole punch that really worked well, so I just took my sewing needle and I poked the holes. But the tip that I wanted to give is in the description, she says that she used a 3.75mm hook. I find for me, because this is super fine cotton yarn, it's mercerized cotton yarn, it's really fine and hard to work with and hard to grip. So I went up a size. I went to a 4mm crochet hook. If we aren't friends on Instagram, let's be friends. My handle is scrappy_warriorwoman, and I share things that I'm working on daily, things that are going on in my life, so you get to know me a little bit more as the creator of this YouTube channel. Happy crocheting. Super excited to show you guys. And so I just took, and this is the real view of behind the scenes of what I was showing you. It was a lot cleaner before I came in and started showing you all of these items.